As an entrepreneur, we all want to grow our business in the new year. I mean, we want to grow our business every year. Strategic business planning, better known as goals, is essential to grow. Without a plan, it will be difficult to make progress and grow your business. You can grow your business, but how will you know that you're growing your business? And you'll not really have any direction. So today we are going to talk about growing your business in the new year, and we're going to set realistic goals in this. So let's hurry and talk about this. So one of the first questions that you might have when you come to the new year is how can a business plan help me reach my goal? Because we've all probably started with kind of like an idea of what we want, but not really a goal. And I'm going to even change this. I don't even want to call them goals anymore. I am going to call them objectives, okay? Because with all the books that I've been reading, goals have a different thought behind them when you say them. But if we think of objectives, and this new book that I'm reading is called Measure What Matters. That's what it's called. And I don't remember who it's by, so you'll have to find the link in the description below for who it's by. But it's talking about OKRs, and this is objectives, which are essentially the goals. And so we are going to change this. Instead of goals, we're going to make them objectives. But everybody knows them as goals. So just remember when I'm saying goals or if I'm saying objectives, they mean the same thing. Okay? So how do we use these objectives and why do you need them? First off, you need a vision. You need to know where you want it to be. And the best way to do this is picture your business in 3 years. What do you want your business to look like in 3 years? What do you imagine it to look like? Do you imagine employees or lots of helpers along the way? And how much money are you hoping that you'll be getting? You need to actually sit down and just picture it. This is the key, is actually picturing it. Now, we've all probably done this. We've all probably envisioned what we wanted, but the next step is actually taking the step to write it down and writing it down so it's detailed. And that way, you know, when you look at it and you're having a rough day, you can come back and say, oh my gosh, this is my why. Sounds amazing. This is what I want. So you need to sit down and envision what you want your business to look like in 3 years. What's the goal? What do you want it to be? What will make you happy with your business? Okay, so after you've done that, because you have to start somewhere, you have to have the vision, you have to have the plan in place. So that's the 3-year picture. Some people say to go to 10 years, but I think that's just too much for me. I can't handle that. So we're going for 3 years because that seems a little bit closer, but still too far to even kind of think about. 10 years just seems really extreme. So then you're probably wondering, okay, well, what are the key elements to a business plan? And so you have this 3-year picture in your mind. Now you need something to direct that, something that will help you stay on track to that. Now, you should have, before you even had this vision or picture, something that is awesome, and I recommend doing it, is doing a mission statement. It's known really well as a mission statement. But in the last episode, I talked about creating my guiding principles from Business Made Simple, the Business Made Simple book, or they also have an online course that is very inexpensive, but start with the book and see how you like it. But he talks about in there, so Donald Miller talks about having these guiding principles, which is your mission statement and a bunch of other key features in there. And so I recommend you creating that. And this guiding principles will help guide you in making all the decisions on creating your year plan. And that's why I thought it was so essential that we talked about this book before we talked about this episode. And honestly, so we're talking, I said it's episode 20. So there was also another episode, it would have been probably episode 16, where I give you the biggest takeaways from this book. So you listen to both of those, but also buy the book and start reading it. It's a very short, I actually have it right here. It's a very short book. It is like around 200 pages. So you can really quickly and easily read through this or listen to it on an audio version. But make sure you set up your guiding principles. This will help guide you through everything to create your business plan for the year. So after that, you are going to sit down and think, how do you want to improve your business for the year? What key things do you want to accomplish in this year? Now, some examples that I find really great and that I share elsewhere is one of these could be that you want to automate your workflows in your business, which I highly recommend doing because it's going to save you time. Another one could be that you join a mastermind group that supports you and helps you focus on the things that you want to create in your business. That one's amazing. Maybe it's create an online course to add another income stream, or maybe it's a number. Maybe you want to add so many new email subscribers to your list. Another good one is create content, and you need to be specific in this. So it's like create one new piece of content each week for the rest of the year. And then another great one is actually a revenue goal. So I want to hit blank by the end of the year. Biggest thing though that you need to think about when you're doing these, I recommend writing out a list and then looking through them and scratching out and circling certain ones. And you really only want 3 to 5 objectives or goals for the whole year, however you want to look at it. But I recommend 3 to 5. Less is more. So remember this. 3 is great, 5 is great, but don't go any more than that. So you're going to pick 3 to 5 of these that you're going to actively try to accomplish in the year. And so the way to pinpoint and narrow down which ones these are going to be, and guess what? Some of these might allow you to hit the other goals as well along the way. So just kind of keep that in mind too. So what you're going to do to decide which ones are going to be the best ones for you to hit is you're going to sit here and think, as you're looking at this list, what objective makes you the most excited? Which one do you get excited about and you really want to do it? Like you want to do it today. Which one is that? Circle that one. What does your audience need the most? What is your audience asking you for? Maybe it's a new course to help them do something. Maybe it's some mentorship that you're going to do. What are they asking you for? How can you add that to your year's goal plan to give your audience what they actually need? And then what will move you closer to your 3-year vision? So we talked about that before, is what do you picture your business to be? What of these lists that you have created, what's going to set you to the point to reach that 3-year vision? Is it that, you need to create another income stream so you can reach something that you're trying to strive for? Maybe it's having this mentorship so that you can help more people. Maybe it's that you want to speak in front of more people. So your goal for the year is to email so many or try to get so many, maybe you want to be on podcasts or something like that. Whatever it's going to be, you have the goal or objective to do it. So what's going to help you get closer to that 3-year vision, whatever it is, because everyone's is going to be different. And then the last one, because we are a business, is what will generate you income. So that should be at least one of those objectives should be hitting this. Ideally, every single one kind of should be because it is a business, but I don't think it's the only thing that we should ever think about. And so that's why I don't say that, but it should be at least one of your objectives is what's going to give you the most income or help you increase your income. And the next thing that you want to do with these goals is you want to really narrow them down and use the SMART goal method if that's what you like to do. Or you can use the OKRs that I talked about in the Measure What Matters Most. The thing that I really want to pinpoint here is when you're using the SMART goals or the OKRs, the thing that they both do is that they tell you that you need to pick something that's going to stretch you. So it's going to feel uncomfortable. It's going to feel almost out of reach or slightly out of reach, but it's still something that you could potentially do. That is what this objective or goal needs to be. It needs to stretch you. It needs to really make you work for it. Because if it's easy, you're probably going to keep pushing it off, or you're not going to find the joy in it to actually get it accomplished. So try to stretch yourself with these objectives or goals. So those are the key things to making a business plan. I know that was a lot of information all at once, but there's lots of books out there on how to create these type of goals and things. But the key things that I want you to remember with this is pick 3 to 5 and make sure that they stretch you. And I know that a lot of people say that you need to make sure that you'll be rewarded at the end. And I think that is important, but it's not a necessity. But if you are one of those people that needs a reward after you complete something, then make sure you do that. If you're a person that needs a checklist, this next part's going to be awesome for you. So you're probably also wondering, okay, now I have these objectives, these goals that I want to do this year, but how do I actually accomplish them? How do I make a plan to accomplish them? The thing that you need to do to not become overwhelmed with these objectives or goals, and that's the whole point of picking 3 to 5 too, is that you need to break them down. So what I recommend doing is that you're going to take each objective, so start with 1, and you're going to break it up into quarters. So in quarter 1, I want to be able to accomplish this to help me reach the end of this objective. And maybe some objectives are only going to take you 2 quarters, and that's completely fine, but break it down into quarters on what steps you need to complete in each quarter. Then from there, it's a great idea to break it down into months, and then even for your weeks. That way you're creating a plan every time that you start your workday on what you need to accomplish to achieve your objectives. Okay, so you are breaking down these objectives into bite-sized pieces to be able to ultimately complete them. So that is the key, and that is why it is so beneficial to break it down, because if you add a little bit here and there, something wonderful and big is going to happen. I mean, look at a house. You can't just hurry and throw everything together. You have to build it up. You have to give it a foundation. You have to do this. And I mean, there's so many other things. People talk about money, like if you keep gathering pennies every day for so many days, you're going to have quite a bit of money. Or is the compounding effect. I mean, that's really what I'm coming down to, is the compounding effect. And so build your business plan around this, where it compounds together. One step at a time is going to get you ultimately to that end objective or goal. So let's hurry and kind of give you an example with one of the examples I gave you previously, which was, let's add 5K new subscribers, email subscribers. So we're going to think about, what steps do I have to do to be able to make this work? And so here are some suggestions that you would need to do. You need to develop an irresistible lead magnet, and it can be paid or free, however you want to do it. And then you need to write the content for that lead magnet. So you're coming up with the idea, then you're going to write the lead magnet, and then you're going to set up the sign up form, the landing page or sales page, the email sequence. So you're doing all that. Then the last thing that you're going to do is promote the lead magnet. So a great way to actually think about this one is, let's say, okay, by the second quarter of the year, I want to have 50K more or new email subscribers. So in the quarter 1, you really need to think about getting this lead magnet together, and quarter 2 is more focusing on promoting the lead magnet. So you could break down these, where week 1 and 2 of the first quarter are thinking about a lead magnet. week 3, 4, 5, and 6 is actually writing the lead magnet and creating the beautiful aesthetic image of it. And then the rest of the time is setting up the form, the landing page, and then the email sequence. That way, by the time you hit quarter 2, you're all ready to promote. So instead of just trying to whip it all out in super short amount of time, like, okay, I want this done by second quarter, and you're doing it 3 weeks before the second quarter ends, you're not going to see the results as if you would have broken it up and made it a lot simpler and easier for you to get through it. So let's hurry and recap on how you can create and grow your business, or how you can grow your business in the new year with realistic goals, but I'm going to call them objectives again, okay? So how can you grow your business with realistic objectives? I feel like I'm saying that word wrong, but how can you do this? So first off, you need a vision. You need to know where you want to be in 3 years. And then from there, I recommend having some sort of guiding principles. What is your why? Why are you doing this? That way you can say no to the things that are unimportant and that are not going to help you reach your goals. Then the next thing is you're going to write down a list and pick 3 to 5 objectives that you want to accomplish for this new year. Then what you're going to do is going to take those and break them up into bite-sized pieces for the whole year. And you're going to put them on your calendar. And so with that is how I recommend growing your business in a new year to help you reach those goals that you really want to hit, and make it simpler by breaking it down into those bite-sized pieces.